Well, good morning, Natalie. Natalie Vuoriaho of the Vuoriaho Group. How are we doing today?
I'm doing phenomenal. How are you?
I am doing so great. Thank you so much for coming this Saturday morning and just sharing the life of a realtor and what all you have to offer about your insights and your tips and your best strategies and just all kinds of things that people will want to find out about. So, hey, well, let's get right into it. Does that sound good?
That sounds amazing, Janice. Thank you for having me on. I'm super excited about this.
Excellent. So am I. So am I. All right. So, brief CNN version. Tell me what you want to just start off talking about real estate.
All right, well, my background is kind of different. I actually was a financial analyst, a business manager, and then I was a marketing and business teacher in high school and a head basketball coach for 10 years. My students were the ones that told me I should start my own business. So I've always been interested in real estate, and in 2015 got my license. My first year, the only deal I did was my own, that I bought a condo. And let me tell you, I had no clue what I was doing. And I'm so glad I was my first client because I made quite a bit of mistakes there. So I've been in real estate since then, and I was part-time for about a year and a half while I was finishing up my teaching career, and then went into full-time. When I tell you this has been an amazing experience and a joyride, it's been a lot of frustration, a lot of successes, and I'm just super excited to be able to share that with everybody. I've been with KW Buckhead since my day one. That's my family, and that's where I will stay. I'm a Keller Williams, I would say poster child. Came in and really embedded into the Keller Williams systems. And what I really love about the office, Buckhead office, is we're truly family. And I'll be more than happy to share the struggles that I've had and how that family has been there to help me and pick me up. So that's a little bit about myself.
Now, when did you join the Market Center?
2015.
2015. Okay, so your fifth year.
Fifth year. And first 2 years, I was pretty much part-time, and then went on full-time.
Okay. Okay. Well, yay. All right. Well, I think this is going to be some really great insights. So,
Let's go.
yeah, let's go. All right. So, what do you think's one of the best personality traits of you that's a key to your success?
Well, my friends always laugh and say, Natalie, you don't meet a stranger. I will talk to a brick wall. So I think that's one of my biggest personality traits. I'm an outgoing personality. I have a humongous drive for success and whatever that success is. You know, anything I put my mind into it, I kind of want to accomplish. And I set very high goals for myself, which sometimes is not the best thing either because it does stress you out. Honesty, communication, work ethic, very persistent. And I've learned how to be kind to myself now. So if I'm not reaching certain goals, I'm not uh, accomplishing the things that kind of said that I was going to do, I'm not beating myself up anymore. So that's been a thing that I've had to work on. But I do believe the biggest one is my outgoing personality and the way to connect with people.
Mhm. Yeah, I would agree with that. You're definitely a connector. That is
Yeah.
obvious. Um, so, what do you know now that you wish you would have learned way sooner in real estate?
Okay, first of all,
Mm, okay,
so
first.
first of all, I'm the type of person that says, "Oh, I'm going to do it this way," and there is an easy map to how to be successful in real estate. And I was that person that literally tried to find my own way of doing things instead of following the systems. I probably lost a year and a half of what I would have gone extensive and quick growth because I tried to reinvent the wheel. And which makes no sense because I was a teacher, right? And teachers, we all know, take the wheel, kind of just tweak it, but stay with the systems. I didn't do that. So my old productivity coach, Regina Polk, who was there at the Keller Williams office, I remember sitting in her office and she's like, just follow the systems. And I'm like, but I'm going to do it this way. And she just looked at me and was like, okay. And then one day I sat there in tears and she's like, just do the systems. And I did, and the rest is history.
Wow, that was sage advice. So, I bet that's part of your sage advice now, right?
Oh, absolutely. That, and also don't be hard on yourself. And surround yourself with others that might be entrepreneurs that have already reached some level of success, and everybody's successes look different. But as you're setting goals in real estate specifically, I mean, things might be rolling great. You're like, yes, I got 500 contract, and then all four of them fall apart, right? And that's what happens. And then you start beating yourself up, and what could I have done different? So really being kind to yourself and celebrating the small milestones that may have accomplished. I think that that positiveness that keeps going and keeping your mindset intact is going to continue to kind of snowball effect in you into success. So definitely would be another thing that I wish I would have learned sooner, because I was setting huge goals, didn't hit them, and literally went just downhill after that.
Wow. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I probably did many of those same things. Didn't follow the systems. Didn't know the systems way back. There weren't systems way back when I got into it, but
All
whatever.
right.
No, there were none.
So Janice, can I jump in and just share? And I'm probably gonna cry when I do this, but can I share a story and look, I literally tearing up already saying this. Can I share my story of how I had that glass ceiling, didn't feel like I was doing well, and my life just totally changed. And it was really real estate, bold in Keller Williams Buckhead. Can I share that story?
Of course, this is
All
your
right,
time.
okay. Awesome. Well,
I'm getting my coffee
I
and maybe my tissues.
okay, I was gonna say we might need tissue for this. Every time I teach and I train and I mentor, not just agents, realtors, but also entrepreneurs, I'd like to share this story. So I truly believe that when you start achieving success, or things, you really get that I gotta make this happen situation, is when you hit rock bottom. Everybody's rock bottom is different. It could be physical rock bottom. It could be financial rock bottom. It could be emotional. Something happens in your life when you become an entrepreneur that's going to take you and say, I am going to make this happen. Right. And there's normally some situation in any realtor that you talk to, they probably have that story. Well, this is my story. I was a part-time a realtor and teaching at the same time. So that means I had a paycheck coming in every month. Not a big paycheck. We all know teachers don't make enough money. You should get paid a lot more than that. And the extra money I was making in real estate was just extra money. Like when I got those checks, I was like, yes. So, second year in real estate, I sold like 7 transactions. I mean, that was extra money. I mean, literally I made more in real estate than I did with my teaching salary. When I decided to go full time with real estate, I did have a little bit of a nest egg, but not a lot, because I did do what most people do, which go and spend and buy nice things and get excited about having some extra money. And I had my last paycheck come in August, and I had no business on the books. I had no closing set up. I had no listings. I had one buyer I was working with, and their financing fell through. And I remember sitting there and going, what in the world am I going to do? I have 2 kids that I'm raising. I have a mortgage. I have $40,000 in credit card debt from after my divorce and just being a teacher, right? And so not making good financial sound decisions early on. And at that point, my grandfather got really ill, and my family is all in Sweden and Finland. So I don't have family here in the United States. My grandfather is like a father figure to me. Like when I say work ethic, I learned my work ethic from my grandfather. He got really, really sick and then got better. And then he got sick again and he passed away. And I remember sitting there in my home, and my current team leader at the time, Susan, reached out to me and said, what can we do? And I said, I have no idea of how I'm gonna go home and bury my grandfather. And we have a fund at the Keller Williams office, the Buckhead Fund. And she said, you know what? And we all put money into it for situations where our agents need something. So sorry.
KW Buckhead
Okay.
Cares.
Yeah, KW Bucket Care. See, I told you I was gonna cry. I always cry when I talk about the story. And she says, not a problem. We will, how much is a ticket? And I remember them writing a check for $1,000 for me to go home to bury my grandfather. And I remember saying to her, I'm gonna put this money back in. I'm gonna keep donating and giving. I'm gonna make it happen in real estate. When I came back, I was super depressed. I wasn't getting up off the couch. I was literally just dealing with depression, being broke, falling behind. I was 2 months behind in my mortgage. And I went to, again, Regina, and Regina said, I need you to go and take Bold, which is a training program. It helps with the mindset. You have all the tools to be successful in real estate. Right now, it's your mindset. It's an $800 class to take. I was like, I don't have it. I went to her. She said, you know what? They have scholarships sometimes. I showed up to Bold. Halfway through, I was like, I need to be here. This is where I need to be. And I put Bold class on my credit card. I maxed out my last credit card. And I said, I will go and pawn this Louis Vuitton bag that I had bought myself when I capped or when I made some extra money. And oh my God, let me get some tissue. I did not. And I told her flat out, if I don't invest in myself and my business and don't believe in myself, I don't need to be a realtor. And I knew at that point it was a make or break. When I took Bold, my mindset changed. I started thinking bigger. I got 7 buyers and listings during that time. I got my first listing, which was a $799 for sale by owner that I turned, put that under contract and made, and actually co-listed with Sana in our office because I didn't know what I was doing and it was a luxury listing. Not to this day we're best friends, right? But I mean, I got literally that one check put me back on track. And I have sworn to myself that I will never, ever get to that situation. And I know now that when I start feeling down or things get rough and things like that, I go and speak to friends and family and I tell people what's going on because I did it and I just closed in and it was very, very tough. Since then, I went from that year of 7, I sold 18 to selling 36. Last year we did 42. This year I'm on track, I think, to 39. And I have like 4 closings set up for 2021 already and a pipeline that's just bubbling. So it took me hitting rock bottom. I am now debt free. When COVID hit, I didn't have any debt. So I wasn't panicky. I just kept on going and grinding and had a great success during COVID. I just bought a car and I wrote a check for the car, no car payment. So I say all that to say, anybody that's had success, they are going to hit rock bottom. And it is important for agents to talk about that, reach out and ask somebody, hey, did you have struggles? Because every time I share that, people go, really? It just looks so easy when you move and do. I'm like, oh no, it's not. And it wasn't, and it still isn't. There's struggles and mental struggles that we deal with as entrepreneurs. There are days I don't want to get up at 7 o'clock and start working, and I just want to clock out and say I'm not working today. But when I don't put food on the table for my family.
Mhm. Wow.
So that's my story.
Well, that's a
Okay.
true, honest, authentic story. And thanks for sharing. It's amazing what a family Keller Williams is. I mean,
It is.
yeah, and those who have
It
had
is.
the experience of the KW cares or the KW Buckhead cares, it is absolutely life changing. I can say that for a fact. So yeah,
Oh, you see, we both have stories. Everybody has a story.
everybody has a story, that's for sure. All right, I'm going to thank you for that. I truly do appreciate that. I love learning about people and people who are open and authentic. What I have come to find in my world is that causes so much more connection with people as opposed to being some fake individual that people just don't know where you stand. They're never sure.
Right.
When you're authentic, people know who you are and what you stand for. It's really, yeah. Thanks for that. Thanks for
You're
that.
welcome.
All right, I'm gonna flip the energy a little bit, even though that went way positive. What's the most offbeat advice you ever got? And did it work or was it a total bust?
Yeah, so uh, the offbeat advice I got, I would say, was social media. And I was like, they're like, just start doing videos. And I'm like, nah, it's not gonna work. Like, I just not. And I just started doing live videos, and the response was definitely humongous. And people are like, oh my God, my mom watches your videos. They're always so inspirational, right? And it's funny, I'm saying the story now, and I have not really been doing videos lately. I've been dealing with quite a bit of things in my life that I kind of forget. It's not something I remember, but the offbeat advice was just be you, be authentic, and just do a video. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just do it. And it worked because people have found ways to connect with me. People I don't know personally, but they know me on Facebook, right? And so, and I have people on Facebook that are referring me business that I have never met in my life. And that's because of videos and me being authentic. So you will see, if you go on my social media, you will see I'm going to look like crap some days. I'm going to tell you when I'm having a bad day. I'm going to talk about the successes and struggles and all that. I'm just being authentic. I'm not going to be pretty and makeup and all hair done all the time. First of all, that's probably not even half of the time, right? And so I like to show my true me on it, and it's worked. People feel like they know me.
Hmm. Yeah. So curiosity question. Um,
Yes.
how much business, what did you say? You're on track for 39 this year?
Yeah, I think I'm on track for 39, and I have 3 active listings, and I have a pipeline of 8 listings coming up. I'm working with 4 buyers right now, and I have 3 closing next year.
So you may have this number right off the top of your head, but how many of those are from your social media foray?
Okay, so if I go social media and backtrack to somebody gave me a referral, now that person gave me a referral, I would say probably about 10 of those are social media, but
Right
the 10 is also, right? Yeah, the people that I've closed or whatever, because I
now?
can take how and where I got the original business was somebody from social media. Then I do a good job with that client and they refer me business. So I would probably track that to 10, but also social media is a place for people to remember I'm in real estate.
Right.
So, even people that are now calling me because, hey, Natalie, I want to buy a house. I've been seeing your successes on social media is what I hear all the time.
Mhm.
Like they watch me and see me on social media, so I'm on top of mine.
Yeah. So that's like 25% of your business.
Yeah, because I make
That's a
sure that
chunk.
I'm posting about my life, myself, but also our closings, our listings, what's coming soon. We're consistently showcasing and reminding people on social media that we are in real estate and we're here to help you when you have questions.
Mhm. Is your social media, is it Facebook and Instagram or is it
Yeah,
Pinterest?
so most Facebook and Instagram, we've started adding LinkedIn a little bit.
Mhm.
I'm not, I'm 44 years old. This whole Twitter thing and all the other ones, I'm kind of like, but Facebook is probably the biggest one. I'm working on my Instagram. Definitely, that's a goal of ours in 2021 is have more presence on that. And LinkedIn is a missing link because that's where majority of people that are business professionals. And I think that lately they said the average income of somebody on LinkedIn is like 75,000. It's probably up now, but that was like a couple of years ago. And
Mhm.
so that's definitely going to be a focus of ours to put more information there.
Good, good, good. Um, so obstacles as a realtor in this market right now, do you see obstacles? Have you occurred obstacles and what have you done?
Yes. So technology. Everything is moving to technology. You have to know as your realtor, what is your value proposition? I'm always talking to people and they're like, well, I mean, I can find my house myself. Well, you're right. You can find it, but the process and what we do to help you get it under contract, get it to closing and all of that. And that's what we are here for, right? You can sit on, look at realtor.com and all that and find houses and the off market property. So I think understanding and embracing technology to staying on top of mind, but also being able to have conversations about the technology that Keller Williams has that is now tied and rolled out to our clients and the connections. I think that's an obstacle for quite a bit of realtors. Um, competition. Competition is fierce. I mean, the amount of realtors out there is absolutely ridiculous. If you ask a person how many realtors they know, they probably going to tell you, oh, I know at least 5, and maybe 3 of them are like close family or friends, right? So how, going out there and getting a business, and don't be upset if your friends and family don't use you when you first get into real estate. Like right now, I have a couple of friends that end up not using me. I'm okay with that. At the end of the day, I'm here and I will work with the people that, are wanting to work with me. And I'm not going to hold that because everybody's reasons and what they're looking for is different. But I think the competition is really fierce. So the way that you make sure that you continue to grow your business and get clients is stay on top of education, understand and know what the market is doing, have market conversations to show your value, and then make sure that you're there for people in your sphere, not just with real estate, but just anything, right? And because if you connect with them, they're going to want to come and use you because you're not just a realtor. You're not just pushing real estate on them. You're helping with other things too.
Right. So where do you find your market stats?
Oh, well, if we're Keller Williams Buckhead, we get Ross Group Stats, which we have an amazing statistician that quarterly runs our reports. I also use stats from FMLS.
Mhm.
I talk to quite a bit of my friends who are financial planners of what's happening with finance because all of that is tied to it. I talk to my preferred lenders about what are interest rates doing, what are they expecting. So my conversations are much more broad than saying, hey, the average days in the market in Atlanta is blah, blah, blah. You know, at the end of the day, you want to be a resource about everything around real estate to your potential clients. And I am that person that have sat at a listing appointment and told the client, I don't think they should sell this house. I think they should rent it out. Let's go buy your house. Let's talk to a lender. You should not sell it. And it's amazing when I tell them that, did you just talk yourself out of a paycheck? And I'll go, yeah, pretty much, but it's not about me. I don't do this for the money. I do it because I love to help people. And those would be the same people that then call me when it's time to sell and be the first one to refer me business. So really operating at a high level of integrity and knowing and understand numbers, because what we are is we are wealth builders. I don't tell people necessarily I'm a realtor. I am a wealth builder and business owner. And I help people build wealth via real estate. And that could be telling people when to buy, when not to buy, when to sell, when to refinance, what updates to do to your house. Real estate is a vehicle to build wealth.
I wrote that down. I'm glad we're recording this because that was really good. That's really good. You know, I do a good bit of research also on the stats, and I went to FMLS that you brought out, and I was looking at I believe it was the November ones. No, November hasn't come out yet, but the October ones. And
Yeah,
it said that year over year for October, the
yeah.
major Atlanta market was up $50,000. October 2019 to
Values.
2020, $50,000. That's
Yep,
big.
values. It's
Yeah.
huge.
So
It's huge.
competition for sure. It's going to bring
Yep.
competition. All right. Well, cool. Cool, cool. So what's some unforeseen downsides to success? Or are there?
Ooh. Oh, what? Absolutely. 100%. First of all, the more money you make, the more sometimes you spend, the more people around you might change or you might change. Your level of thinking changes as your successes changes. I think the quote out there is, "You will be the average of the 5 people you spend time with." Your friendships will change. People you might have to cut out. You know, my mom is the biggest supporter, but when I decided to go real estate full time, she was like, "I just don't think you should quit quit teaching, right?" And now she's like, "Yay, my daughter is successful, right?" So sometimes your closest supporters will not necessarily be there in the beginning to cheer you on, and you have to cut people out of your life. So I think that is probably the biggest one. You will have some jealousy around it, and it's going to be important for you to keep the positive people in your life. I'm not saying keep the yes ma'ams, yes sirs. No, no, no. I'm talking about people that lift your spirit up and people that are there for you when things are not great and encouraging you, right? They can still tell you things that you might not want to hear, but I think that's the biggest part. Lack of life and work balance is probably one of the biggest ones out there. As a matter of fact, I am in Florida right now. I'm still working, but I'm in Florida where I rented a condo from and flew my 2 sons who are 23 and 18, and they moved to Sweden. I flew them here because I missed them. And so I flew them to Florida, and we are here in a condo for 6 nights. I'm still working, but my boyfriend told me yesterday, like, Natalie, you're working too much. You don't flew the boys over here. You need to make sure. And I was like, I got deadlines, amendment to address the concerns. I got a new listing that's launching. And it was an aha moment. And I just shut my computer down for from 12 o'clock yesterday until late last night. And I got up early this morning and did some work. I'm waiting for them to wake up so we can go to the beach. But I think the biggest spark is lack of life and work balance. The more successful you become, you want to make sure that you're blocking off time and setting boundaries. I used to say I'm available 24/7, right? That is most on my website. And then I realized, no, not. And like Sundays are my days off. And I block off my Sundays and I make sure I block it off in my calendar. And every month I go on a trip, I go somewhere, right? And sometimes if I'm gone more than 3, 4 days, I work at the trip, but I'm making sure that I have at least one day off while I don't do real estate. Now, if I have an offer come in, I'm of course have to respond, but I try to make sure to honor that. And I'm not meeting with clients that day. And I'm not doing any, what I would call the 80%, the busy work that day. I will only do things that are deadlined.
Yeah. So you brought up a comment that just really caused me to pause because I know this to be true, and that whole life work balance, because, you know, we're unemployed if we're not working with somebody, if we're not capturing
Hello,
a
yes.
buyer, seller, investor to help them in whatever aspect. And that whole setting boundaries of, yeah, we are not an ER room. We are not the police. We're not the fire. We're not the people who are 24/7. You know,
Right,
that's certainly not. And that life work balance, I mean, for me, it was a learned skill, a learned behavior. And, you know, we teach people how to treat us each and every day by what we say, what we don't say, what we do, and what we put out there. And
right.
bravo to you to set those boundaries, because sometimes people don't want you to have boundaries.
Well, Janice, and you know me. I will go, 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 go. And then what happens?
You,
My body crashes. Like I literally will be with a migraine for 3 days. I will be laid up and no lie, it's still a struggle. It is something I have not mastered. It's something I'm working on. So as I planned out my 2021 days, I think that I'm only working like 220 of them. And I am blocking off every Sunday and every other weekend. I'm to do 2 days off. And
mhm.
so I'm going to work on it. If you don't work on yourself and if you don't grow, right. What did it say? If you don't grow, you die. So I'm working on myself.
Yeah, progress, not perfection. That's what
Yep.
we're always doing. Progress, not perfection. Perfection, it doesn't exist anyway.
No,
Maybe a
no.
snowflake until it melts. But oh my gosh. So what books are you reading?
Right now, I am reading the 12-week year.
Oh,
Um, I am also listening to How to Sell to the Affluent. So when I'm in a car, I'm listening to that one, and start with the why as well. So I'm kind of reading on 3 books. I haven't been doing a good job. I'm supposed to be reading 1 book a month according to what we planned last year with my MAPS coach, and I've only read 7 books this year. So I'm a little behind. So they're going to roll over to my 2021 goals. So now, because of it, I'm gonna have to read or listen to 2 books a month, and so can't just let it go. Gotta keep growing.
Start with Why. Simon Sinek is one of my
Oh,
all
it's great.
favorite books. When I saw him
It's
on that
great.
TED Talk, I was like, oh my goodness, stop, change, rewire the way I think.
Yeah.
Literally rewire the way I think. It was really an interesting aspect. That's very cool. So what book should every aspiring successful realtor read? What's like your one book?
Okay. Well, if you want to be in real estate full time and you want to create a life by design and create a business, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, and you should be reading that once a year, right? So that's my one book for real estate. It gives you, it is like our Bible to how to build a millionaire real estate business. Not
Mhm.
how to be a realtor, but how to build a successful business. Follow these. That's what I was referring to earlier. I wish I would have just done that. Like I didn't read the MREA until year 3, even though everybody kept on telling me to read it. Year 3, I read it and I went, oh, go figure. Why
Look
don't
at
I just do
that.
this?
That's what they're talking about, 36 touch. Oh,
You're muted.
that's what they're talking about, the 4 models. You know, I was started with Keller Williams in 2000 and the book came out in 2002. And so I've got a signed copy by Gary and Dave James. And somewhere I've got it. And you know, I read it that first, like I flew through it, and then I put it up on the shelf for another good 3 years, 4 years. That's 2002.
Wow.
Put it up on the shelf, and then it was like all of a sudden, like, hmm, I've got some growth. opportunities here. I bet it's in that book.
Right. And I have a spiral version of it that I'm forever pulling out. And I get on my business coaching calls and we start talking about like planning for the future. So organizational chart, all that. So I have a book at home, I have a book in the office, and I have spiral bound ones too, that for me and for my assistant, that we can put little stickies to make sure that we're following the models, because we have to consistently refresh ourselves on those.
Mm-hmm.
I
Excellent.
have another book that I really think that people should read, because sometimes we are our own worst enemy. It's
Yeah.
the Unf Yourself. Yeah, I read that and I was
F
like,
it less. Un-F
huh?
your, because I know
Yeah.
F it less that's coming out in May.
No, no, it's the FUCK word, but I didn't want to say it because
Right,
we're,
right.
you know, being recorded. So and yeah, NF yourself, basically. It's great.
Huh. Okay. I don't know that one, but okay. Do you have that in hardback?
I do. I'll bring it to the office for you.
Okay.
I
I'll read.
love to share a book so that it could get more use. Yay.
Oh my gosh. I used to have a library of all my books and people would check them in and out. Because I bet I have three, four, maybe 400 books and just
Maybe
like,
that's what we should do at the office. I think you just came out with a great idea. We should start, because I have books that I wish people would read, and maybe we'll start putting that. We just need to lights all things down because of COVID, I guess.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's awesome. Um, all right. Natalie Vuoriaho, you just earned $100,000 today
I
at a
received
closing.
that. I received that. I
I
received that.
receive.
I am gonna have $100,000 day. That is on my radar.
Awesome. That gives me great energy. What do you do?
Well, the first thing I do is when that check comes in, I put my money to taxes. That's the first thing I'll do. I'm
Good.
gonna take and follow the model and put that 30% into my tax account. Then right after that, I'm gonna start looking for my next rental property so I can continue to build passive income. Will I go and do something and buy something? Yes. So I have this thing. I love nice purses. And what I do is when I hit certain goals, so when I cap my first, every time I cap, I go buy myself a nice purse. But I
Oh,
do go to the outlets, like I go to Gucci outlet, whatever. I don't
right.
think I'm paying full price, but I would probably go and buy myself something, because when I look at those, they remind me of some of the goals I've set and then I received. So I know exactly when I looked at this one purse the other day that I wore, and I looked at that and started smiling because I bought that for myself when I hit the top 20 individual agents for the Southeast region. And I was like, and I went and bought a purse that day. And so I would do that. That's my little advice. I buy purses when I hit certain goals.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that. I love purses too. Um,
And I do also, I do donate money. So obviously I would right away write a donation for Nicholas House, which is the homeless shelter for families that I support. That's one of my big whys. And I'm on their board. So definitely right away, I would write a check for them, off the 1% that I always give them, off of my commissions, my gross commissions. I give them the 1% off that.
awesome. Yeah, supporting the communities, doing our part. That's wonderful. So tell me about an experience that you had that you feel every realtor needs to know.
You don't know what you don't know,
Mhm.
right? Um, I felt like when I started, I should have known everything. And so my one experience was really getting embedded into the classes that we have. So like I took Ignite the first time and I was like, man, I didn't really take it. I didn't do the work, right? So I was like, this doesn't work. Let me go and do it my own way. Second time I took it, I did the work and I went, oh, I didn't realize that most of the people, I don't even have their information. So how can I stay in touch with people? I don't even have their information, right? So my one experience, I think that all realtors should know about, it doesn't matter, obviously would love to have them in Keller Williams family, but to make sure that they take the classes that are needed to gather knowledge, and don't just listen to your friend who's an agent. Like, if you want to learn about something, find a person that's an expert in that and take that class. Like, I'm not going to listen to another agent tell me about how to do price properties or that. I'm going to go and take an appraisal class that's offered so I can hear it from the appraiser. I think that was the one thing I tell people, it, that everybody should know. Doesn't matter how experienced you are, if you're brand new, you've been there, things are consistently changing. Like my big thing for 2021 is I want to learn how to pull together investors and create subdivisions, right? So there's quite a bit of growth I'm going to have to do and learn. So I'm surrounding myself with people that have experience with that and shadowing them so I can learn how to put that together and the infrastructure around it, zoning parts of it. And so there's always room for growth.
Yeah, there always is. And that's a great, great strategy. I love hearing that, that's what you do. You go to the professional who has the expert knowledge in it. Um, because, and I love this example, people graduate school, college, wherever, get a degree. There's those that are the magna cum laudes and the summa cum laudes and those who just graduate and everything in between. So where do you want to get your information, and seeking out those who have the best information for sure, for certain. That's great. I love that. So what's your definition of success?
Success to me is different for everybody. So I
Mhm.
personally think the definition would be to achieve the goals that you set for yourself, right? Your goals are your goals. Like I know a couple of agents in the office, right? And friends of mine that are like, I don't want to build a $1 million real estate business. I'm looking to retire. Like I want to scale my business down. Well, that's your goal, to have more time with your friends. That's a great goal. It's not
Mhm.
about money. It's about what is your life and what is that you want. And then setting a plan for that. And when you achieve that, that's success.
Mhm.
Success through others is for me. So when I see others achieve and I've been there to help them, I'm being successful, and it had nothing to do with my bank account. It had nothing to do with my personal goals. But if I'm there to help somebody else accomplish something,
Mhm.
to me, that's the definition of success.
Excellent. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Can you tell I'm excited about that?
I know, I know. That philosophy of the giver's gain, helping other people achieve what it is that they want to achieve. And then I achieve everything that I want to achieve by helping others. And plus that energy that's
Right.
transferred with that, great energy begets more great energy. And yeah, I'm a firm believer in that also. That
Well,
charge.
that really goes down to what I tell people all the time. They're like, somebody told me I was lucky the other day, and I changed their wording. I'm like, lucky? I'm not lucky. I'm blessed. I continue to consistently do for others and pour into people and come from contribution everything I do, and great opportunities come to me because of that. Like people are reaching out to me and saying, Natalie, I know you don't have experience in this, but I would like for you to be a part of it. For example, right now I have a friend that builds affordable housing, and they want to bring affordable housing to Atlanta. I'm passionate about that because the wealth gap in Atlanta is so high, and people literally don't make enough money to keep a roof over their heads or their families' heads, right? So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a great opportunity. I don't know how to put all this together. So I'm bringing in other agents. I'm not going to probably make a lot of money, but I'm bringing in people, but I want to be part of it because I want to come from a contribution to help the friend of mine that's doing that, help our community to be able to have more affordable housing because that is an issue. And so, really, to me, if you always come from contribution, do not count your checks, don't count your coins, don't think I'm going to get this from them. Just always come from a place of contribution, and you will continue to flourish and grow and have an amazing life in whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Abundant thinking for sure. Yeah. When you wrote that, when you said about luck, I think it's Chinese, the symbol for luck means preparation when preparation meets opportunity.
I like that. Ooh, I need to write that down. Preparation means like, I love talking to you. I always get something new. Preparation meets opportunity.
I
Got
always
it.
get so many things from you. So yay for both of us. That's what happens, that whole collaborative success through others,
Right.
win-win, just a different point of view. I love hearing other people's ideas. It always causes me to generate. All right, I love this question. What's your secret sauce? You may have already
That's
shared
it.
it with us. I don't know.
I just said it. My secret sauce is come from contribution. Like even if somebody does not use me, obviously if they're using an agent, I can't guide them or advise them, right? Because we can't cross the sign. But I mean, I've had agents that I have had friends that literally had to use their sister, obviously, it was a realtor, and they're like, nah, I just don't know if she knows really what's going on. I said, listen, have her call me. I will coach and talk to her about how to handle the situation. I can't talk to you about it, but I don't mind helping. And they're kind of like, you wouldn't mind doing it? I'm like, we're still friends. It's not, it's business, right? I get it. I understand. And it's interesting. They ended up then sending me referrals and not referrals to their sister, right? So come from contribution, and the successes will continue to come. When people know that, they want to deal with you when they know you're not sitting there counting a paycheck.
Right. Commission breath. Yeah.
Oh, that is just ugly.
It, and that's the difference between the abundant mindset and the scarcity
It is.
mindset, and
It is.
how some people situational are in a scarcity mindset because they're in a scarcity scenario. So sometimes it's just challenging for them. So that, I love that. I don't know that I've ever heard that before. It's like, yeah, tell them to give me a call. I'm happy to help them help you,
Yeah.
and just help them in their career, just in general. I don't know if I've ever really heard that about doing that. I
It's
mean,
interesting because that person now is thinking about coming to Keller Williams because she's like, how do you know this stuff? And I went, when I first got started, we have tons of classes. And when I don't know, I have somebody in the office to call, right? And always, like I had 2 agents in the office call me about things yesterday. I'm on vacation. I will always pick up the phone for our family, right? And finding solutions to it. So it's really, really a great opportunity to always be connected.
well, that's awesome. And that's why you've had such tremendous success. I mean, I get it, your definition of success. I mean, it just evolves, it emotes from you. And then people want to be around people who have great energy and come from that positive mindset and that abundant thinking, because they're like, oh my gosh, I get this energy. I get to feel this. I get to learn this, know this. That's a phenomenal place to be. That's awesome. 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 So, how do you want to be known in real estate professionally? Like, give me some descriptors of how you would like to be known, or how you are known, even for that matter.
As a leader, as an influencer, um, somebody that had a major impact on community. Um, I want to build an amazing life for not just myself and my family, but for anybody that's around me. Yeah, so for me, when I take my last breath and I slide into the casket with a glass of wine, right? I want people to talk about the impact that I had and how that impact I had on them trickled down to other people. I want to know that whatever, if I'm pouring into somebody and they are creating an amazing life and whatever it is, not just real estate, but just maybe becoming a better parent, becoming a better wife, and that impacts somebody else and they impact somebody else. And it's that trickle down effect. I truly, that's what I want to be known for. When anybody says Natalie, they go, oh my gosh, she was always high energy, will take the shirt off her back, always pouring into people. I'm not perfect. Like, trust me, there's been quite a bit of not good Natalie moments out there. And anybody that knows me knows that, but I want to be known for just being a leader and giving back and really having an impact that is generational, not just that person I dealt with.
Awesome. That's a great answer.
Good questions.
Every once in a while, we've got some really good questions. Yeah. Yeah. Um, what's the one thing that you're focused on that helps you stay on task towards your goals, towards your plan?
Okay, first of all, anybody knows me, I am ADHD to the max. So sometimes my long list of to-dos, literally I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, it's an hour and a half and I have accomplished absolutely nothing, right? Some days I just shut my computer off and go, all right, let me just stop for a second because I can't get nothing done. And then some days I'm like, blah, blah, blah. What has really helped me kind of stay on track and focused on my goals is my business coach. We're on a call once a week. And once a week, she calls me out on my BS because I will be the first one to give her an excuse. And we've gotten to a point now where I don't give excuses. I just own up to no, I didn't lead generate this week. And she's like, well, what is the outcome? I was like, oh yeah, I had 0 listing appointments. Okay, so how are we going to fix that? Right. Um, I think just being able to stay on track and focus on my goals is really my maths coach, Bridget. She's phenomenal. The other part is using my calendar. I'm a swipe away or snooze girl, but really getting the concept of if I'm going to erase, I need to replace, right? So it needs to go somewhere else. Um, I like had a panic moment earlier because I was deleting out while I'm on vacation all my lead gen times and like all the stuff that's not important because I'm trying to make sure I have a life, work and life balance. And I was like, I'm supposed to replace this. I'm like, but wait, I can't do an 8-day lead gen day. And I was like, maybe I can, right? All day marathon. But yeah, I think that's the biggest part is you want to make sure that you have some coaches, you have people that your accountability partners. I have a few. I had DJ who's in our office. He was an accountability partner for affirmations in the morning. For like 1 month, we got on the phone at 8:30 every day and we did our affirmations back and forth, which then created a habit for me. Now we don't get on the phone anymore, but I'm sure that DJ's still doing affirmations. And it really started with the fact that we both felt a little negative in our mindsets. And I was like, let's just do this. And he's like, okay. So yeah.
Neat, neat. So I wrote something down. You said about your to-do list, and many of us have to-do lists. And there's that page in the one thing. It's like the to-do list and the to-don't list, right? And the right, which is and this is my mentor. He told me this, I don't know, decades ago. Do it, ditch it, or delegate it, Janice, because you can't do it all. You can't have it all, be it all, know it all, earn it all, help everybody. So do what you do, your 5 jobs, ditch what there are just some things that aren't as important as others, and delegate the things that are. And that's that whole leverage piece of, growing your business, because you can't do it all. I mean, it's just impossible.
Right.
9
And
million pieces
oh,
to the
you're absolutely right. And that's my thing for 2021. So I'm going to put it out there in the universe and tell you as well. I think you already know that. So my goal is to gross a mil on my business next year. So what does that mean? That means I have to hire more people. There's no way I can sell 112 units next year by myself. And the reason for it is I am not willing to give up the other parts of my life. I'm not willing to work 7 days a week, 13 hours a day to accomplish that goal. So for me to accomplish that goal for my business is to build a team. Currently, I have a transaction coordinator, Misty, she's great, and I have my virtual assistant, Jarrell. I have an OSA that makes calls, set up expires, and for sale by owners appointments for me. So those are my 3 people that I leverage things out. I have agents in the office that are newer agents that are helping me as a showing assistant capacity. So if I can't go out to show a property to a client, they will open the doors for me. And next year we're looking to go, well, I need to add add an assistant in office, right? Who will manage my virtual assistant. And then the middle of next quarter, I'm going to add 2 buyers agents. So for me to reach those goals, that's my organizational chart that I need to get, because I'm not willing to give up the things I enjoy, which is spending time with friends and family and the love of my life, Dennis, traveling, right? And anybody knows me is I'm gonna be on a trip once a month.
Mhm.
That's what gives me life. Like being able to be somewhere else, stick my toes in the sand or walk on the street in an unknown environment, a different culture, and eat, eat, eat. I love food.
Love that. So gross a million. I've got that. It's in
Yep.
my head. In my head. Yeah. And you're creating that life by design,
Life
right?
by design. I'm literally at the beach and I can travel and I can run my business successfully by leverage, by utilizing amazing, talented people around me and giving them opportunities. Those agents are getting experience, and many agents that are doing show and assistant type of stuff for me know that they're open to watch my buyer's consultations. If they want to come list an appointment, if they come to shadow me all day, I want to be able to be an open book for agents in our office to show them what I do, how I do it, and not to say it's right or wrong. Everybody has their own way, but might give them a couple of coupons or clues or things that they might want to implement in their business.
Mhm. Well, I'm going to write down to see about doing your listings live because I know it was fabulous when you did it before. Never asked you to do the buyer consultation because I didn't really, my brain just didn't go there. I'll just saw you as a listing agent.
Oh,
So,
I'm a 50. My focus is listings because listings give you leverage. But
yeah,
right now I'm at 50-50. So I
okay.
have about 50% buyers, 50% listings. Because with listings, you do get quite a bit of buyers.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Oh,
if when I get referrals, 85% of my business is referral based. And so when I get referrals, I'm just not going to not accept a referral because the biggest compliment is getting a referral from somebody that you know. And so I'm always going to take it regardless of what the price is. My 100,000 referrals to $1 million referrals are all going to get the same attention. At the end of the day, that house is their home and they're building something for themselves and they're going to be treated exactly the same.
mhm, yeah. One of my first clients back in 94 um, bought a $90,000 condo. I've done 9 transactions off of them, but I've made over the years. Now I don't sell anymore. I stopped
Right.
selling when I moved into leadership. But over those years from 94 to 2006, I had earned from them alone in their referrals. It was like 360, $65,000 from
Yep.
selling one $90,000 condo. And in the past 3 years, I've gotten referral fees that I've given for them because they sold their $1 million house. So they listed that $1 million house. They bought a $2 million house. And then they referred another $1 million. And so they're referring to me, and I still have my referral partners for them. But yeah, I mean, it's like, hello, I've earned, I mean, it's like those people are gold. You never
Right.
know what's going to be that opportunity.
Right. You never know. That's why you
Yeah,
treat everybody the same.
yeah. No
If I if I
expectation.
meet a if I meet a janitor, I meet a CEO, I'm gonna treat them the same.
Hmm.
I'll ask them both, how are you doing today? You doing okay? Be safe out there.
Yeah,
That's how it's supposed to be.
yeah. How can I help you? Absolutely, absolutely. Uh, um, just on a side note, I love your philosophy and the way that you conduct your business, and
Thank you, Janice. That
it,
means a lot.
it's not only commendable, it's bravo. It is setting standards that other people can see what it is about owning your own business. And it's not just about owning your own business, it's really about affecting other people's lives, your ripple effect. And
Mhm.
yeah, I bet that ripple effect goes far and wide, crosses all 7 continents.
That's my goal, by the way, Janice. In 2021, I wanna have visited all 7 continents. I have 2 more to go.
You got the A's, Antarctica and Arctica.
Oh, and Asia. I got the 3 A's. I forgot.
Oh,
Got the three A's.
you got the A's. Okay. I love that. I love that. Um, so, and we may have already touched on this, but I want to just ask it again. You might have a different answer. What advice would you have for someone who is just getting into real estate? I mean, they are
Um,
ground. They're
so let's just
ground.
start off with people tend to think that real estate is easy, right? And so let me just put it out there. It is not easy.
It's
It's
simple.
simple, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
And then you don't get a $1 million check with that real estate license that's being given to you. And your friends and family probably will not use you. And once you understand those 3 things, the only thing you have to do is get up and go to work.
Mhm.
Yes, you work for yourself, but you have to get up and go to work. Just like when you used to clock in and go to another job, real estate is the same thing. You have to learn how to say no to your friends that says, oh, you work for yourself, let's go grab lunch. Trust me, I had to like stop saying like, no, I can't. The only lunches I would do if they're business related or you're introducing me to somebody that can be business, right? I'm not doing it lunch just to go and chat. Like not happening no more. Maybe a happy hour, but I'm not interrupting my business and my workday for that. So really get up and go to work. You just got to set your schedule. You got to be up before 8. It's not no sleeping into 9, 10. If you do, you're probably not going to build a business. The other advice I would say to somebody, I keep hearing this quite a bit back and forth, should you join a team? Should you not join a team? There's not a right or wrong answer for that. It is who are you and what are you comfortable with? If you're the type that you want to learn and you want to be hands-on and you don't have the confidence to kind of go out there and do it yourself, then join a team, right? Or work with somebody and co-list with somebody so you can shadow them and get some more confidence. If you're one that, hey, I'm just going to take it, I'm just going to go, then, and you're like a high D, high I, and the disc profile like me, joining a team might not be an option or might not be a good option for you. Like I could never be on a team.
Mm-mm.
I am a visionary. I got these great grand ideas and I'm not an implementer. I'm gonna have to hire people to be implementers of all these grand ideas, right? So if you want me to be implementer on your team, it's not my strength. So I would struggle and I wouldn't be happy. But the main part is get up and go to work. Pick up the phone, make calls, talk to people, let people know you're in real estate. Because if you don't and you're a secret agent, you will be a non-employed secret agent in the future.
Yeah. That is so true. So true. I remember one time being around Gary. I don't know if this is in any book, and you've probably heard this. There's really 5 jobs in real estate. There's like 200 tasks.
Yeah.
There's 5 jobs. And the first one's lead generate, go out and develop new business each and every day. Then there's lead follow-ups, number 2. Got to follow up with all the leads that you met.
Negotiate.
Set appointments, right? You got to go on the appointment and get the signed agreements, and you go to closing.
Yep.
And you
And
can't
the sign agreements, you have to negotiate, right? So even the sign agreement, and with buyers, you're gonna have to negotiate the contract. That's it. Literally, it's the 20%. Like I told my assistant yesterday, she sent me something, and I said, "This is a troubleshooting issue you need to figure out. This is not the stuff I want to deal with." And it was literally trying to figure out what one of our vendors' PayPal was. I said, no. And I could have found it really easily, but I'm trying to teach her. And that's the stuff you block from me. Do not send me that, right? The only thing I should be doing is talking to clients, pouring into other people, leading my team, setting appointments, closing appointments, and not even doing the work to set up the listing, but negotiating the contract I need to do. Like the inputting of the listing and the setting up the pictures and all that stuff. Because right now I'm even staging my properties, and honestly, not good use of my time, but I get my properties sold. So until I can find somebody that can do it the way I do it, I'm stuck doing it for now. So now that's another thing I have to start leveraging. And hopefully my assistant will have a good eye, because that will be something that they can do.
That'd be great. That will be great. That's actually going to be awesome. Yeah, you sit there and you think about your time. You've got the same time, same number of hours, minutes in a day that everybody else does. And are you going to do a $15 an hour job, or are you going to do a $700 an hour job? $700 an hour job. I mean, it's a choice, because it's people, systems, and tools that are our leverage. And when we realize that it's people, systems, and tools, and systems many times now are technology, right? That's just
Right.
Those are our leverage opportunities for you to gross $1 million.
I'm renovating my duplex I'm buying next week, right? And I'm going to live on one side and house hack the other, Airbnb it. I literally just made a decision last night that I'm going to hire somebody to pick out all the stuff for the house, because it's not good use of my time. And this is literally the house I'm going to live in. But I don't want to go out unless I'm going with a friend and it's my time off and we're just hanging out. But if I have to just go by myself and I'm not turning into like something fun to do with a friend, if that doesn't happen and I don't have a friend that's free to go with me, I'm hiring an interior designer to go over there and pick out all the tile. I'm gonna give them a budget. I'm gonna tell them kind of show me what you got. And I'm gonna pay them the $250 an hour that they are, because I know I'm worth more than that. I'd rather take that time to pick up the phone or do something I want to do, like spend time with friends and family.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's when you weigh it out, you're going, yeah.
You will never see me clean a house ever, Janice.
Never. Good.
Never.
Me.
Not use of my time.
You
I
know,
don't like it.
What's so interesting that many of us realize in our personal life, the things that we use for leverage, whether it's who's washing our car, where the dry cleaning, getting our hair done, hiring somebody to clean the house, a landscaper, we get it, the dog groomer, we get it in our personal life, but for whatever reason, and tell me if you found this to be true, that when it turns into business, some agents, I don't want to say many, some agents lose that translation of leverage.
Well, yes. And I think it's because a lot of times agents feel like I have to be part of the process. Literally, when we go under contract, I like even my buyer's consultation, I explain the full process of what happens in real estate, right? I have a whole thingy that that our marketing department, Tiffany, and they made me the steps into home buying. And I go over that with them. And on there, I say, once we go under contract, you're going to be hearing from my transaction coordinator.
Mhm.
Where I'm still going to be involved. I'm going to be checking in. You have any questions, feel free to call me. But if there's questions in regards to paperwork and things, that question goes to transaction coordinator, right? And then I say, I'm here to, go through and negotiate the amendment to address concerns and blah, blah, blah. But my calls to you are going to be just updates and checking in on you and seeing if you have any questions. But if there's anything that needs to be signed, it's the transaction coordinator. I take my hands off. I'm
Right.
not touching it. I'm not dealing with it. I'm just touching base with my clients so that they know I'm still part of the process. And I'm going to ask them this amazing question. You know what it is, Janice?
I bet I do.
What is
Who
it?
do you know
That's
that
looking
can
to buy
buy,
or sell
sell,
real
and
estate
invest
right
in
now.
real estate?
Right.
Who do
I
you
actually,
I should know?
so I actually tell them about, I say, hey, remember when we first started, I was going to give you 5-star service. I hope that I'm still providing a 5-star service. Normally they say yes. Excellent. I'm so excited. In return, remember, I asked to make sure that you give me some referrals because I love working with amazing people like yourself. So who do you know that may have said, oh my gosh, I want to buy a house as well. Now, since they know you're under contract, oh, I need to sell my house, right?
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. When I was coaching agents and when I was a MAPS coach, I would have all my agents do we'd have very set times during the whole process with working with buyers and sellers of every time there was a situation that was either a really great outcome or a really rough outcome, or even just it was an outcome. And they would always ask at that time for, based upon where you are in this scenario and what our results were, I'm wondering who else do you know that is looking for a realtor who is going to be there when the going gets tough. I would love to help anybody that you know. Or who do you know that will be there to see it all the way through? And they would ask at very specific times during the process, and their referrals went up by about 55% on the average,
Oh, interesting.
just by doing that during the whole
I
process.
need you to find out what the parts of the process it was and share that with me. Wouldn't
I
mind increasing my referrals.
I will do that for you for sure. Yeah, it was just a key component of it. Actually, Mike Hicks, The Promise. Do you know Mike Hicks? He
Oh,
does
yeah,
The
yeah.
Promise.
That's the promise I do. Yeah.
He does it somewhat. Um, and he's got very specific times, but sometimes you have to look outside of the system because something occurred that you weren't expecting, and you move it through. And yeah, but yeah, The Promise definitely shows that, but I'm more than happy to share that with you.
Yeah.
Hey, so we're getting up here to 11:03, and you've got a life by design with your live work balance, life work balance. um, Two last questions, and then you can say anything you want. One, what's your long-term goal with real estate?
So right now my goal is to gross 1 million, then it's net 1 million in my business,
Mhm.
and then step away from my business. My goal is to be able to walk away from the transactional part of my business in the next 3 years and have amazing talent running the team. And then I coach and train the talent that is there to make their lives as big as possible and create opportunities for them.
Mhm.
I want to become a developer and a builder. So when I see great opportunities, bringing in investors and creating subdivisions, creating multi-use buildings, and kind of we're becoming more of a real estate investor as well. Um, and ultimately, I would like to see myself probably add another 3 to 7 businesses long term, so that when I do decide to retire, I retire as a multiple business, successful business owner. And I'm still leading and running those businesses at a high level by just leading the CEOs, CFOs on those businesses.
That's awesome. So
And if you would have asked me this question, like my first year of real estate, do you know what my answer would have been? I want to be debt free and I want to make $100,000. That's it. Because that's how small I was thinking. And real estate has allowed me, and KW's mindset has allowed me to understand there's so much more. I don't need all that money. Let's just be very clear. I can make the money I make now and living very comfortably because, like I said, I bought a car, but I didn't buy a brand new car. I didn't buy a huge luxury vehicle. I just, because cars depreciate. So my best friend is my financial planner. And when I tell you, she keeps me straight. Like, yeah, we're not adding that. We're not, right? I don't need to make a lot of money. The things that make me happy is being able to travel, eat good foods, be around my friends, and not stress about paying bills. But I'm like literally could buy a house that's probably $1 million, me and my boyfriend right now. And we bought a duplex that we're going to rent one side out, that basically we're living there rent free because we want that money to go into something else. I
mhm,
say that I don't need to make the money, but what I did realize is I love to help people and I love to be able to give back. And I wouldn't do my community or people around me any good if I did not tap into making the most amount of money I can so that I can build bigger lives for others and I can go ahead and give more to my community. Like my goal is to ultimately build a second home like Nicholas House, which is the emergency homeless shelter. Because the one they have in Grant Park right now is just so run down. I want to build a second location, move all the families over there and donate that house to Nicholas House. And then be able to, get all the renovation done on the house that they have now. And really honestly, it might only take $1 million. So I want to be able to do that. So for me to do that, I'm gonna have to create these amazing businesses, creating opportunities for others, bringing enough money for me to be able to write a check and be able to do that.
that's awesome. That is awesome. That gave me just goosebumps hearing that. Your conviction, your focus, your and not I'm not I want to use the word determination, but I don't even think it's determination. It just is. That is
Yeah,
a that is a fact that will just show up for you because it's what you are choosing, it's what you desire, it's what you're creating.
I feel like I was put, even as a little girl, my mom always said you would talk to everybody and you always wanted to help and right. And so I do believe that I've been put in a position to be able to have a major impact. And I would fail myself if I didn't do that.
Mhm.
So when I get up and I put on my makeup, the days I put on makeup in the morning, I look at myself in the mirror and I have to answer a couple of questions. One, am I moving in the way that I want to move? Right? Am I doing the right things? And am I happy with what I'm doing? And sometimes the answer is no. And so then I have to go and reflect on what is that I need to change to make that. Because transparency, about 3 months ago, I was going to quit real estate. I literally walked into Susan's office. It's like, I don't think I want to do real estate no more. I told my coach, I don't want to do real estate no more. And it was only because it wasn't exciting me anymore. I wasn't doing the things that excite me, which is lead people, help people, build people. Because COVID kind of changed that. I wasn't around people anymore, and that's what I loved about it. So, my job description kind of changed because of it. Right? I'm not a pick up the phone and talk person. I'm a hug on you and let's chat person. Right? I need that energy, and that was three months ago. And so quick conversations. And in like 20 minutes of talking to Susan and then talking to my coach, we realized it's not the real estate. I'm not doing the things I love to do. And then we came up with a plan that allows me to do that. And that's where the plan of, you know, grossing $1 million came up. Well, Natalie, if you want to do that, what do you have to do? Well, I have to lead generate. I have to gross $1 million, build a team so I can do the things I love, which is teaching and training nationally, being an inspirational speaker, is helping and training the people on my team and people in the office, right? And so I decided to change my mindset and realize, well, let me go back to the things I do. That's why I'm always like, hey, do you need me to train? Do you need me to do something? Right? And you're always like, really? And I was like, yeah, I love it. I get it. Even through Zoom, training and pouring into people, I get energy out. It's not the same as in person, but hey, we're gonna have to adapt, right? The environment has made us adapt. So
Mhm. All right. So parting words, parting thoughts, anything else you care to share?
yeah, mindset in everything, right? So I think I've seen a lot of agents during COVID kind of go into shell. And I'm not talking about agents that have underlying conditions and can't really go out. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about agents that kind of say, oh, real estate stopped. It did not. Like I literally, the first week of us being on lockdown in Georgia, I put one client under contract 4 weeks in a row. I'm like, well, obviously not, right? So I think mindset in anything, we're going to consistently have things happen in our lives that's going to detour us. Things happen in our careers that's going to detour us. We don't have a lot of choices in life, right? But the one thing we have is when we wake up in the morning, we have a decision of how do I want to attack the day? Do I want to attack it in a positive manner? Or do I want to not attack it in a positive manner? I'm going to say right now, negative, but I'm just saying. So it's all mindset. So when you catch yourself slipping in your mindset, bring it back and really make sure that you start the day with time for you. So Miracle Mornings is a great book for that. Your first hour should be for you. You do your affirmation. You do the things you like to do. Listen, if you like to knit, take the morning and knit for 30 minutes. Like whatever it is that's your time, that's the only time you get it because you're not going to get late at night. You're not going to get an afternoon. Everything seems to fall apart in real estate in the afternoons, right? If you don't have appointments, it's always somebody's emergency. But take the time for yourself and make sure you work on your mindset because when you're out there and you're moving in a positive manner, positive things happen to you. Most of my agents, my clients are positive, upbeat people. Like I get on the phone with them, I get excited. And if they're not, I will terminate the agreement with them. Because if you're draining me, we're not working together no more. And when you have that, you attract that, your life just becomes so much more fun. I think those are the important words. Is just keep working your mindset. And when your mindset starts slipping, speak to somebody, start having conversations, surround yourself with that friend that it's so annoying because they're so positive all the time. They're like, oh, it's raining. It's so great. It's raining. You know, that friend, like go spend a day with them, right? Get your mind right. If you're in the office, pick up the phone, talk to me. I guarantee you, I can show you that things are not as bad as you think it is. We'll find a solution to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, mindset is my big thing. I want to kind of leave with that because it doesn't matter if you're going to be in real estate or not. If you choose to be, it's life, like with mindset of how you react to it. My kids get on my nerves sometimes, but I have to remind myself that they're my kids and I love them. And I'm just not going to sweat the small things that they do sometimes.
There you go. Not sweat the small stuff in general as best as possible. Yeah. Natalie, this has been a pleasure. I so appreciate this time that you shared with us, shared with me. I am tickled pink, and I am ever so honored to know you, work in the same office with you, and I tell you, you come from contribution every day, all the time, and you are so authentic, and just your viewpoints and how you conduct yourself and your business and your life is certainly, take a picture because that's a shining star right there with everywhere to keep shining brighter. And I'm just really tickled for this opportunity to chat with you. I'm just telling you from my heart. I'm really, I don't know.
Thank you, Janet.
And I'm delighted that
you mean so much. Like I'm like, every time I see you, you have that most amazing positive energy, and I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You know, this business isn't a lot about appreciation. You know, you may even made a comment, you know, you got to get up, you do it for yourself. And this business, you know, we don't get a lot of attaboys, right? We don't get a lot of high fives. And something that I've learned is I've got to give that to myself because it's a very focused, driven, independent business. And yet there are other people around that just naturally will do that. But still, you know, the day is, let me get up, let me make a difference in my life first, because I've got to put on my oxygen mask first, take care of myself first, and then be able to help others, and that ripple effect and just cause a spark. You never know what conversation is going to help someone else. That great book, Fierce Conversations by Susan Scott. So we never know what conversation could change somebody else. And it's the ones that we never do that we'll never know. We never engage, and we're never going to know. So thank you for your time. I cannot wait to see you. Are you back in the office next week?
Oh yeah, I'll be back on Monday.
Okay, well, I'll be there. I'm there all week next week. So I will see you then. And anything that I can do for you, don't even think twice about picking up the phone or coming by, stopping by. And I can't wait to see you.
See you soon.
All right, honey, have a great time.
Look, life by design. I'm getting ready to wake my sons up and we're about to hit the beach.
Good. Have fun with your boys. All
Thank
right.
you. Bye.
Bye.